what's going on, you guys? Today I'm gonna show you guys how I mix my vocals sounding like this.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa.
Like this.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa, pero es la misma bella. Lo malo que voy.
Alright. Simple, easy. I'm not gonna go too much on not showing you why I did it like this. I'm just gonna tell you why. Like, I use a meter, okay? Most top producers, most engineers, mastering engineers use metering. They don't use ear. Obviously, the ear is great to use. If it sounds too harsh, obviously, you have to take some off. But the metering actually helps you, exactly where to put your vocals at. Mids, highs, and lows. All of that. So first off, I use the limiter. This is actually a whole song, so um, I use the limiter, so I know that limiting goes with for every instrumental, right? That's just not just for the vocals, everything. So what I did, I boosted up 3.6 because if I take this off, my vocal is not gonna reach, the mirroring where I want it. So for the vocal and every reference song you use or you get another song and you put it in and you see the spectrum, you will see that the vocal will see -10. Highs, some of them -10, -15, -20. It all depends on the producer, the mixer, and the master. Well, the mastering doesn't really touch that. They usually do something else. The mixing is where, it goes. So for me, for my vocal, 250, 300, 500, 700, 1K hertz, I want a -10. And for this song, since it's like a reggaeton type song, 2K, 3K, I want a 15, -15 to -10. The highs, which is 10K and above, I want it, touching -15, something -10. And then the lows, I really don't want that. But at 250 hertz, where I have it boost, it's because I want my, voice sound big on the song. That's my preference. Other people, other producers, mixers, or artists don't want that. They want the kick and the bass to sound big. Well, let's go and see what my vocal needed. Every vocal is different because of your voice, the mic you're using, and I'm gonna go step by step why I added this or I boosted this. So first, I use the de-esser. -10 is where I usually find my vocal sounding a little too harsh. So 7K to 14K, that's where I wanted to my de-essing to be on. And then I added this because, as you guys can see, if I played this by itself without any song and anything, nothing on it,
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa.
it sounds slow. So at 3, I used the Coffee to Pun. It's actually a free plugin by Acustica. I boosted almost 8. Okay, it's because when I recorded this vocal, I did not, add an EQ on it. I wanted my vocal to sound raw, like no EQing. So I boosted that much, 3.8K, and this is how it sounds.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa, pero es la.
As you guys can see, it started, getting live, but it was still missing something, right? So I grabbed another one, and what I did with this one, I added a 20K high shelf, boosted up almost 5 because it needed that 20K, 15K, it needed that. I'll show you guys what I mean right now.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa, pero es la misma bella. Lo malo que voy en camino detrás.
So you see, my vocal needed that 20K, the high, the air. If I start putting this down, it's gonna sound super harsh, and I don't need that, right? I want that high, the air stuff. It's a 20K. The more harsh, and that's what I did on this one. And then I added compressor. This is like a vari move compressor. It's just like a mini one. This one I use because I like how I was compressing it, right? I don't want my compression to go up and down, because it's not compounding. It's not how I want it, right? I want my vocals to go straight, not jumping up and down So this is why I did this much compression.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa, pero la
So this is why I did this. It's not because of the volume. I don't need that. I want everything to sound, glued. And then what I added was it needed some, like I said, I wanted my voice to sound big, so I did that 300. I say 250 is where it's at, but this plugin is free, and the plugin is not really precise, so that's why I added around 300ish. And then I added 1K, about 1 point something, and then this one was 2 point something. And this is how it sounds before and after. I'll show you guys.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa, pero la misma vez.
So you guys could see it made it bigger, right? And then I added a EQ, TDR, Nova, free. You guys could get this for free. So what I did, I added a dynamic EQ around 590 something because it was passing that -10. Like I said, I want my stuff to be -10. I don't want it to pass over it. Some might pass, but that's okay. All I guess is the sound distortion, right? No distortion, no harshness. But that's why I added that. And I take out some 62 hertz. The low end was like coming back out because of the compression. And then I did this 5.3 kilohertz. I took out some of the high, not high, but like high mids, I guess 6K, 5K, and then it took out some of the 3-4. So that's why I added this one first. I knew that if I was gonna do this, I was gonna have to take some off. Well, the dynamic Q was gonna make it come down, and then make it not go over certain -15 or -10, because this side over here, if it passes -10, it's just too harsh for the ears, and that's I wanted to protect that, and didn't want to make it sound harsh. And then I added a tape buzz. Tape buzz is free, you could look it up. This one I like because all you have to do is go up, and then you see how much you want. Obviously, the more you put, the more distortion. But this one, I liked it because it sounded full. It gives it some harmonics. I wouldn't say bottom. I don't know how to say this, but it's the whole spectrum for me, right? From, let's say, from here to here, it just boosted up some of it, right? So it could sound fuller. It didn't boost a lot, but this is why I chose this tape buzz. I have other tape plugins, but I use this one instead. It's free, and obviously I could show you how it sounds, but you need some good headphones or speakers. I'll show you guys how it sounds.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa, pero la misma vez habla lo más.
It just boosts something. It just sounds, more like if it was bigger. I like this plugin. And then I used an OTT. Basically, what I did on another free plugin. This plugin actually, what I actually does, how it says multi-band up or down. I kind of grabbed some of this low end and then brought it up. Mostly all of it, the whole thing, the whole spectrum. You just boost it, right? But I chose some. Which ones do I want higher, and which ones I didn't want. But for this one, I wanted the whole spectrum to go up. And it's not saying boosting the whole. Let's say it's gonna boost the whole mix, right? Not just to go up here, but the bottom parts. Like I can show you guys what I mean. Let me see if I could.
Una Susi controlar.
So like this one right here shows empty, right? There's some spots that looks empty. With this one, brought it up, like you can see.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta es santa, pero la misma vez habla lo malo que voy en camino detrás.
So it just brought those frequencies, and I kind of wanted that, and it just sounded way better. Then lastly, well, not lastly, but I had another EQ. This is just a high pass filter, 146 hertz. I know what you're gonna say, it's too much, but honestly, with the OTT, it brought up a lot of the lows, so obviously I have to go more down. I don't need those, and then it made it sound more perfect. Then lastly, I used another variable move compressor. Now, why I put this one at the end, because it's an extensive sound. Obviously, the last plugin you put is the last color that it will give to your vocal. This is why I put it last.
Una Susi que no se puede controlar porque le encanta, es santa, pero es la misma bella habla. Lo malo que voy en camino detrás para pelear.
You guys can see, this is why I put the last one. I don't want it to pass -10. It's That's what I was taught, and this is the right way. If you get a reference song, get a song, any song you guys want, top mastering or mixing engineer, you will see that the vocals will leave at 500, 700, 300, -10, most of it. And then around 200 it could be -20, 15. It's up to you, the artist or the mixer, right? 2K, I like mine sometimes -15, not going a little higher than that. The high, -15 to almost -10. That's my rule. That's, well, not my rule, but like a lot of mixing engineers, mastering, they know this. They have a spectrum. Every top producer that I've seen in their reels or TikTok videos, they have spectrums all over their computer area, and it's not cheating. It's because they want to see if the kick, for example, the kick 100 hertz, it's where the kick lives, right? 70 sometimes, depending, right? You will want that kick to hit all this area to try to hit it 10. If it's hitting 10 right here and then in lower down here at 65 or 50, you want to boost that 50 area to hit -10, and you will see how that kick is punching and is more fuller. And then that's just mixing. It doesn't go with mastering. Mastering is a whole different story. Mastering do not mess with that. They do other stuff. They add color. They do acoustic moves. No, I'm not gonna go into details on that, but this is how I do my vocals. I started as learning how to master a song, and then once I learned how to do that, I went to mixing. It's like I did a reverse because I knew that the mastering wasn't sounding good because it's the mixing sounding bad. So once you go on the mixing and you fix your errors, which is not hard at all, if you learn that the vocals live at this, frequencies and how much you have to put, how much level, you will see that your mixing will sound way better. That's why some mixes sound muddy and some don't, because they know what they're doing. You would never want to put 150 hertz on a vocal. Even at the car, you boost up the bass, you're gonna hear your vocal boomy, right? And then you're gonna mess with the kick and bass. They're gonna clash. So if you learn all of that, you would see that your mixes will sound less muddy. So, but for now, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want another video on something else, feel free to comment down below. And if you guys want me to mix your vocal and then send it back to you, I will even give you the limiting where I did the most. Like for this one, I did 3.6 limiting. So at your end, when you put it in your track, if it's not, your track is like mixed, but it's not fully mastered, the highest you will go on the vocal will be 3.6 on a limiter. Well, it depends. You could actually lower the volume of the vocal. As long as that vocal, let's say you want to master the song already, you have the limiting, compressor, everything, right? And it's higher than this, it's fine. As long as you have your vocals sitting at -10. It doesn't matter if it's the low, the mids, or the highs. Whatever hits -10, trust me, your vocal's gonna sit right perfectly on your track. Well, that's all, you guys. Thank you for watching.